Most people think quitting porn is enough. But what if the act of masturbation, even without porn, is still miswiring your brain in very dangerous ways? In this video, I'm going to answer one of the most frequent comments that you leave for me. What about masturbating without porn? Well, let's break it down. What exactly is happening to your brain, your mind, and your body when you masturbate, even if there's no porn? Let's dive in. There's a growing wave of men quitting porn, and that's a really good thing. You've decided you're going to step away from the endless scroll, the dopamine spikes, the content that numbs your mind and hijacks your brain. But there's a problem that nobody's really talking about. And the people who are talking often give misleading information. You quit porn, but you keep masturbating. Maybe it's to a fond memory, euphoric recall. Maybe it's to fantasy. Maybe it's just out of sheer boredom. But you keep wondering to yourself, why don't you feel better? Let me be clear. Quitting porn is absolutely step number one, but it's not the whole picture. Here's what we know about what porn does to you and why it's such a powerful trap. Every time you go to porn, dopamine, that neurochemical of motivation and pleasure, floods your system, and you get an abnormal, supernormal level that makes you feel great, but numb for a time. Dopamine drives your focus, your energy, your motivation. But when the surge hits over and over again, maybe it's from the constant scroll. Maybe it's from niche categories. Maybe it's from shock value scenarios. Well, these high levels of dopamine, they numb you. They desensitize your brain. And then guess what happens? It adapts. That means regular life begins to feel boring. Not enough dopamine there. Real intimacy with a partner, it could never compare. The brain learns, I only get high from fantasy. And the rewiring, it leads to all the symptoms you've probably been feeling. Brain fog, lack of motivation, difficulty concentrating, lack of focus, can't get off the couch, ED. Something I call SAD, sexual arousal dysfunction. So quitting porn is critical, but here's the problem. You haven't touched porn, but you keep masturbating. And especially if it's too fantasy, you keep firing up the same neural pathways. You've just changed the fuel. This is where we shift from porn-induced stimulation to these more subtle acts of solo stimulation. These fly under the radar. I hear from so many of my clients, they didn't know this was still impacting them. They thought, no visual content, I'm fine. But they feel what happens when they fire up fantasy. Okay, so let's say you've completely cut out the videos, but you're still using masturbation. You're still firing up those same loops. They're not being fired up by porn, but they're still the same dopaminergic loops. This is the real issue. Masturbation without porn still spikes dopamine. For some people, not as much. For others, just as much. I have one client that says, put him and an alcoholic in a room for 30 days. The alcoholic comes out sober. He comes out the same. You're activating the same loop. Stress, boredom, craving, climax, crash, repeat. And if you're still using euphoric recall or imagination or fantasy, your brain doesn't know the difference. Mental porn is still porn to your neurons. The same circuits light up. The same patterns fire. You'll feel the same. You'll feel urges, then shame, disconnect, caught in the loop. This is why so many men quit porn but don't achieve their goals. So, yes, the visual stimulation has been taken away, but the same neural pathways are being activated. It's just with a different input. It's not just what you consume, it's how you've trained your brain to respond. So, here's what happens when you stop masturbating for 90 days. No porn, no fantasy, no solo stimulation. And yes, you heard me. For 90 days or more, your dopamine system begins to reset. That means now your life becomes more pleasurable. Your purpose, your work, your people, your hobbies, now they feel good to you. Better than ever before, maybe. Your brain will crave natural rewards again. Movement, exercise, connection, creativity, purpose, and passion. You'll notice your energy shift. You're no longer chasing those fake highs anymore, so you have an energy reserve for all the things you want to accomplish in your life. This is how you tap into your full potential. Mood swings, they level out. Anxiety eases. Depression pulls away. You'll notice that you feel more confident because you don't feel split in two anymore. You don't feel like you're being Dr. Jekyll out in the world, but Mr. Hyde back at home, caught up in compulsive behaviors. Now you get to be the top 1% version of yourself that you've always wanted to be. And perhaps most powerfully, your sexual vitality returns. You're no longer interested in chasing down those fake artificial highs of instant gratification. Now you want more. You want the complexity of true connection, real intimacy, deep longing for another person, and the happiness trifecta that comes along with it. It's dopamine for pleasure, serotonin for joy, and oxytocin for connection. You begin to feel fully human and alive again, grounded, like the powerful man that you've always wanted to be. You deserve to be that version. Okay, so you've quit porn. You've gone 30 days, 60 days, maybe even 90 days, but you still don't feel alive. You wonder, what's wrong? You still have brain fog. You can't focus. You still struggle with sexual arousal. Your sex drive feels warped. Here's why. Most men try to quit, but they never fully rewire the brain pattern at the heart of their issues. You're still using fantasy to escape from stress. When difficult emotions come at you, you want to run. Instead of sitting with them, you're still avoiding, not transforming. If you don't break the loop, you still have a cleaner version of the same compulsion. Yes, it looks and maybe feels a little bit better on the outside, but on the inside, it's still the same. This is why I coach men on so much more than just quitting porn. It's about leaving the stimulation behind and having an inner transformation of neurological regulation, mood regulation, and identity transformation. This is because porn wasn't always the only problem. It was just the most obvious symptom. If you've quit porn and you're still stuck, congratulations, you've definitely taken the first step. But you have to go deeper to rebuild. Real healing takes more than just willpower. That's why in my program, you learn how to become focused, free, create the life that will sustain sobriety long term. You'll no longer need the stimulation because you'll feel peaceful, present, clear, calm, confident. If you're ready for this type of transformation, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. Check out the program, and if you're inspired, subscribe to this channel so I can help you more. Click the video that's coming on the screen now. We're about to go deeper. Leave me a comment. If you've quit porn but you're struggling with some of these other issues, put it in the comments. I read every single one. Remember, right now is the time to elevate your mind over explicit matter. Let's go, my friend.